Tom Brady and his free agent destinations, as I mentioned, this is unprecedented. Tom Brady is entering free agency for the first time in his entire 20-year career. He's going on 42. And I know there's a lot of teams out there that, that need a quarterback and are kind of a quarterback away from really making a run. And I know the Dallas Cowboys have been thrown out there, the Los Angeles Chargers, maybe a team in Florida like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But really, two teams over the last couple of weeks have just kind of been, it's kind of been a topic of discussion. It's either returning to the New England Patriots or it's going to the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Tom Brady going to the San Francisco 49ers makes sense for two of three parties. I could 100% understand why two of these parties would want to consider this, but there's a third party that I just don't know why they would even think about it. Number one, just from Tom Brady's standpoint, I mean, the 49ers, they're fresh off a Super Bowl appearance. They have one of the best offensive lines in football. It's a young offensive line at that. Raheem Mostert came into his own late in the year as a solid running back, and they're probably going to get Jerick McKinnon back. They have Tevin Coleman. They've got a trio of backs, and that's what he had in New England. Their front seven defensively is probably the best in football, and they got Quan Alexander back, who really helped them in that playoff run. Their defense is really, really good, and then of course the weapons that Tom Brady will have at his disposal. He'll have Emmanuel Sanders, Deebo Samuel, Kendrick Bourne, and then the best tight end in football probably in George Kittle, a guy that right now is probably more dominant than Gronk was. And the unique thing about George Kittle is his speed. He is so fast, but just as physical as Rob Gronkowski. So from Tom Brady's standpoint, makes perfect sense. I would want to go to San Francisco. That's one of the best teams in the league. And it's got everything that you want, because Tom Brady is not going to go to a team with inadequate weapons. He's not going to go to a team with a poor offensive line. And he's not going to go to a team with a bad defense. All three check those boxes for the 49ers. They've got good in all those areas. He would want to go there. Now, part of this discussion as well is Jimmy Garoppolo getting traded to the New England Patriots as a result of this, if San Francisco brings in Tom Brady. The Patriots would be 100% on board with that, and so would Bill Belichick. If you remember a couple years ago, Bill Belichick wanted to keep Jimmy Garoppolo and trade Tom Brady away. This would be perfect, and the Super Bowl window that right now is theoretically closed, the dynasty is over for New England, it would be restarted once you re-insert Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo was 4-0 with the Patriots during the season Brady was suspended for the first 4 games of the year. Actually, check that. I believe he was 2-0, or maybe 3-0, and then Jacoby Brissett won a game. Regardless, that's who Belichick wanted in the beginning, and they would be thrilled to get Jimmy Garoppolo back at a price that's around $27-28 million a year for the next 3 or 4 seasons. All that guaranteed money is paid. They would be 100% fine with it, because you're paying Tom Brady. If you keep Tom Brady, you're going to be paying him around $30 million, and he's an older quarterback. So it makes perfect sense for the Patriots. But the only thing about this whole scenario is this does not make sense for the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo is coming off of his best season of his career, leading his team to a Super Bowl appearance, and came up just short. And Tom Brady, on the other hand, yes, he has 6 Super Bowl rings, but he's 42 years old. He's a hit away from retiring, and he's coming off of one of the worst seasons, probably his worst season of his career, statistically speaking. It just doesn't make much sense. It really doesn't. And going back to the money thing, you're paying Jimmy Garoppolo $28 million a year. You're going to have to pay Tom Brady roughly the same thing, and you're only going to get a year or two of him. And that means that in this year's draft, the 49ers are going to have to draft a quarterback. They're going to have to draft somebody. And to me, it just does not make sense for the San Francisco 49ers to even want to consider bringing in Tom Brady. If you didn't have a quarterback, that's one. If you were a quarterback away, that's one thing. But you were just in the Super Bowl with a young quarterback who's 28 years old, who coming off his best season of his career. It just wouldn't make much sense to throw that away to bring in an established Super Bowl winning quarterback who's coming off of his worst season of his career.